Okay, so as I've showed before, the application flow is quite simple, and it's important to understand the application flow. It's been implemented by 4 different microservices, and these microservices are interchanging cloud events in order to make this happen, right? Like in order to be able to sell a ticket, there are events being emitted by different services and consumed by different services. What you can do when you have these kind of architectures and you know that there are events being emitted, what you can do is you can quickly tap into those events and visualize what's going on by using a workflow engine like CV. Right, so what you can do with CV is you can create a model like this one, which basically the only thing it's doing is just mapping events that are being emitted and just them like diagramming them, like mapping them into this model. So basically this means that every time that a customer joins the queue, a new instance of this model will be created, and as soon as somebody joins the queue, a new event will be expected for when that person exits the queue and when for that person reserve the tickets and then send payments, and then the payment is authorized by this third-party payment system, right? So in this way, by looking at the events that are being emitted, you can have a quick view about what's going on into your applications. And let me show you that by showing the tools that CV comes with. And this is Camunda Operate, which is basically a dashboard for understanding what's going on with your models. So if you take a look at this model, it's the same model that I've showed you before, the one that I quickly designed to map the events. And I have connected Knative eventing system, the broker. In this case, I'm just tapping into the broker and consuming the same events that the application is generating. So if I join the queue now, you can see that there is no one else in the queue. So I will be number 1, and when it's my turn, I should be able to see here that there is a new instance of this model being created when a new message arrives. That's waiting to exit the queue right now. As soon as I exit the queue, I should be able to reserve the tickets, and that's the next thing that the model will expect in order to move forward. Right? So if I go back to the application, you can see that I can reserve tickets. I can reserve, let's say, 3 tickets, and now I will need to pay. Right? And as you can imagine here, if I come here, this is waiting now for the payment to be sent. You can go back into the main dashboard and see all the instances for that version of the model, right? Like if you have 100k people creating instances, you will be able to see each customer in each of these different phases, right? And you can say, okay, how many customers are stuck in payment, for example. So you can pay now, and as soon as I pay, I will be just waiting for this external notification that the transaction was done, and then emitting an event just to notify other parties that that's approved. And I'm sending also to the user interface, a cloud event here just to make sure that I can move to the next screen. And if you come here, if you come back to the dashboard and inspect the instance, you can see that that's completed, right? So in here you have a log for all the operations, and you can see exactly how much time did it take to receive the payment authorization since the payment was sent, right? So in this way, you can have like a quick view, high-level view of what's going on into your applications. Usually this becomes really useful because in your applications you might end up having tons of events floating around, like low-level, very technical events that you are not interested from more like a business perspective, and with this you create like a high-level mapping of what's interesting to share with other teams and with other people, right?